Howdy, y'all. I'm Justin.
And I'm Kim.
Welcome to Cowboys Like Us, the podcast where we talk about Taylor Swift and her music. Yeehaw. Hello, and welcome to Cowboys Like Us, the only podcast with port and starboard attachments, and we're saving up for Turbo Drive. We cannot afford it at this time, unfortunately. Today we are talking about Red, the title track from Taylor's fourth album. But first, we have poll results. Y'all voted, and you gave I Know Places an 8 out of 10.
I mean, I'm here for it.
Indeed. If you take umbrage with that, be sure to vote in our next poll, which we'll tell you about at the end of this episode. How you can do that. But let's get into some news, shall we?
Let's do it.
News from around the Taylorverse. First up, another Taylor Swift stalker, there have been many over the years, has been arrested. And this one was trying to bust into the door of her townhouse in New York City. Neighbors claim they've seen the man scoping out the area for the past month or so. One neighbor asked him what he was doing in the neighborhood, and the man said, quote, "I want to see Taylor." And he also had flowers at one point. The would-be Romeo's name turned out to be David Crow, and he looks like Great Value brand Post Malone.
Yes, he does.
He does not have face tattoos, but other than that...
He looks like he should.
He does. He does. He's saving up for him, I presume.
Probably. That's what he was there to ask Taylor for.
Face tattoo money?
A loan for face tattoos.
Authorities claim he was reported to have been creeping outside the building upwards of 30 times.
Ugh.
They saw him out there. Someone did.
Gross.
And he now faces multiple counts of harassment and stalking. He was, in fact, arrested 3 times this week because he kept going back.
Why do they keep letting him out?
Well, because, I don't know, the laws in New York.
Stupid.
Yep. I guess he made bail. Good for him.
Either way.
Yes, either way. Hopefully he will get the punishment that he deserves for being a creep and the mental health assistance he probably requires.
Yeah. Let's hope.
On to our next story. The Kansas City Chiefs defeated the Buffalo Bills this week in the NFL playoffs. Going into the game, the Bills were having fun with it as they were hosting. They announced that they would have 2 specialty food items available to celebrate Taylor's probable attendance: the Karma Quesadilla and Bad Blood Waffle Fries. They said, quote, "We had a lot of fun with this week's menu, adding a few new options to celebrate this incredible rivalry with the Chiefs and their star-studded fans." I don't know how you get Bad Blood Waffle Fries. The Karma Quesadilla kind of sounds like it sort of makes sense to me. Bad Blood Waffle Fries don't make sense to me.
I don't know. Unless they come...
Ketchup already?
Yeah, drizzled in like ketchup or like sriracha or something. Something red.
Something red, yeah, you'd have to think so.
Yeah, I don't really know. Or, if somebody was to actually like develop a Bad Blood Waffle Fry, like in the world where Taylor Swift does like a crossover with Chick-fil-A or something, which would never happen, but and we get a produced Bad Blood Waffle Fry, it's gotta be a black waffle fry. Like a dyed black waffle fry. Okay. Drizzled in either ketchup or sriracha. But I feel like it'd be sriracha. A little spicy.
Well, that would be upsetting to me.
I'm not saying it'd be good. I'm just saying.
As someone who's weird about food color.
Yeah.
I don't want to eat black. Anything, really.
Well, you know, Burger King had the black bun Halloween. It was like a black Whopper or something.
I did not know that. And now that I do, I'm upset by it.
Yeah. It was a Halloween promotion. They had like a Whopper on a black bun.
The only black thing that I eat is Oreo cookies. The cookie part is black.
Is it black or is it just really dark brown?
Semantics.
I know that there's a type of chicken out there that you can get that's black.
Blackened chicken? Is that what you mean?
No. Like...
Because it's not...
Not spices to make it black. I mean, like, the chicken is black.
I will take your word for that.
The meat is black.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to eat it. Thank you.
But it's chicken. You love chicken.
Yeah. I've not seen it come that way before.
I don't remember what it's called. But
Anyway, Taylor did indeed attend the game. She was up in a hospitality suite, as per usual, with Brittany Mahomes, Cara Delevingne, Kylie Kelsey, Jason Kelsey, and more. Jason Kelsey, whose team was eliminated the week before, had himself a time. He got hammered and took his shirt off and yelled and jumped out the window to hang with the fans. At one point, while he was down there among the people, he saw a 8-year-old girl named Ella Piazza, who had a sign that said Buffalo Bills plus Taylor Swift, best first game ever. And he picked her up, turned her toward Taylor so that Taylor could see her and her sign, and Taylor waved to her. It was a nice moment. And Ella said, quote, Jason came over here and then he picked me up and then I saw Taylor. It was like amazing. And her mother, Jessica, added, it was amazing. She came down and it was like the happiest I've ever seen her. She was crying just of happiness. It was just so cool. Jason planned to get wild from the jump. On this week's episode of New Heights podcast, he said, quote, I'm not gonna lie. I gave Kylie a heads up. The moment we get into the suite, I said, I'm taking my shirt off and I'm jumping out of the suite. And she said, Jason, don't you dare. She was already telling me to be on my best behavior because we were meeting Taylor. So she's like, do not be on your best behavior. I was like, Kylie, the first day I met you, I was blackout drunk and fell asleep at the bar. This is part of the charm. This is part of the Jason Kelsey charm. I want to make my best first impression. Travis thinks that it worked. He said, quote, Tay said she absolutely loves you.
Yeah, in no world would I ever assume that Jason Kelsey's personality would scare off Taylor. You know?
No, I wouldn't think so.
He seems like her vibe. He had been tailgating with Bills fans all morning.
Oh, had he?
Yeah. So, or I say all morning, all day. I guess he wanted the true experience, so he went down to like a famous bar and then also went to a tailgate. Kylie said in an interview that he really wanted to be thrown through a table, but nobody had done it. So she felt like that energy was pent up. So when he got to the box, he was like, nobody threw me through a table, so I'm going to jump out of this box with my shirt off. And so she was kind of like, okay, fine, like get it out of your system. And then she said when he went to do it again, she was like, oh, hey, you got to stop. You got to stop. You can't keep doing this. You're giving security a heart attack. Like, you can't.
He is a large man. It would be difficult to throw him through anything.
But yeah, that's true. I guess you just have to let him jump.
Yep.
Yeah. I will say the praise, I mean, it's all over the internet and people have said it forwards, backwards, and upside down. But the praise that Jason is getting for his appearance at the game and acting the way he did and supporting his brother is all great and wonderful. But it is ridiculous in comparison to what Taylor gets, you know, when she does nothing except show up.
Yeah. Well, you know, boys will be boys, right?
I guess. I do think it's funny that, like, he jumped out of the box celebrating a touchdown that his brother made for the opposing team.
Right.
And, like, all of the Bills fans that were right there were like, yeah! Ooh! And, like, you're cheering against your team with Jason Kelsey, but it's just because he's Jason Kelsey.
Well, we're about to hear from a Bills fan who was there. A Bills fan seated in front of the box, who was witness to all of the fun, said, quote, Taylor Swift was rowdy. There was no mistaking who they were rooting for, and despite the cold temperatures, they opened the big suite window and kept it open the entire game. There was definitely some banter between the Kelsey Swift suite and the fans below, especially when points were scored. In the end, they won and have the bragging rights. So, good-natured, seemingly.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't stop Bills fans from booing Taylor on the way in.
Yeah. Travis Kelsey caught 2 touchdowns, and the Chiefs won 27-24. The second Mahomes to Kelsey touchdown was their 16th in the playoffs, or Super Bowl, which is a new record, as they pass Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski, who connected for 15.
Gronk.
After one of his touchdown catches, Travis blew a kiss toward the box and did the heart hands gesture, which Taylor does sometimes.
I like to think the heart hands were for Taylor, but the kiss was for Jason.
Could be. Could be. After the game, Taylor gave a stadium employee named Jairus Rainey $100 bill as a tip and took a photo with her. Rainey said, quote, "She's a sweetie pie, very down to earth."
Glad to hear it.
Yep, and Rainey wasn't even like an employee who did anything for Taylor. Taylor just like passed her on the way out and was like, "Do you work?"
Oh, she wasn't like their box like attendant.
No, not like the other game where she gave them a bunch of hundreds. Just somebody she saw.
Well, that's nice.
It is.
I said I like to think that the heart hands were for Taylor and the kiss was for Jason. But in a post-game interview, Travis did say that he had no idea what was going on in the box and that he didn't realize that Jason was out of the box with his shirt off or anything like that. And one of the reporters on the sideline asked him about it. They were like, how do you feel about your brother jumping out of the box without a shirt on? And he was like, he did what now?
Yep. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I played sports. I played soccer all through school. And I never had a crowd near as big or loud as that ever. But you can't hear anything when you're out there. It's just noise. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So you don't know what the crowd's doing. It's just the way it is.
I, on the other hand, was on color guard in marching band. And for the most part, unless you're doing something cool, everybody stays pretty quiet. So you can hear during halftime. Unless you have a trumpet in your ear or something, which happens. But I was always able to, my parents always sat in the same spot. So I was always able to pick them out and just sort of stare at them the whole time.
Well, that's good. Yeah. It's good that people listen to the band instead of being loud.
Yeah. They usually only cheer when you do something impressive.
The Chiefs, Travis and friends, are on to Baltimore this week to face the Ravens in the AFC Championship game. The winner will then head on to the Super Bowl.
They played my NFL team last week, and now they go on to face the Pod Gremlins NFL team.
That's right. The winner will head to the Super Bowl to play the winner of the 49ers-Lions game. I kind of want the Lions to win the whole thing because they've never won one, and they've been around the whole time and just haven't won. Ever.
They've just been such a success story this year.
Yep. The underdog. You gotta root for it.
Just a big year for them. Which was the Ravens, a couple of years ago, right?
The Ravens?
They just kind of turned it around after having some bad times, or am I thinking of someone else? It may be somebody else.
I think you're thinking of somebody else.
All right, never mind then.
Yeah, the Ravens.
Cut that out.
The Ravens have been pretty good. They're a newer team, and they've been good the whole time. Good to middling. Ravens coach John Harbaugh admitted this week in a press conference that he has some of Taylor's music on his phone.
Oh.
A reporter asked if he'd be deleting it this week, and he said he would not, and asked, what does that have to do with anything?
Thank you.
So, yeah, what a dumb question.
Way to not be a piece of shit. Because you could easily be really mean and be like, hell yeah, I'm not listening to their music anymore. If they beat us, I'm going to be mad.
Yep. He's not superstitious, nor should you be. Speaking of pieces of shit, an Australian bridesmaid named Olivia called a radio show to express her concern over having to break the news that she's going to miss her best friend's wedding due to the Taylor Swift concert on the same date, which she got tickets for. The host helped her out by calling the friend and let Olivia break the news live on air. And it went poorly. Jessie, the bride, said, "Is this a prank? Are you joking? You've known this since before December and it's 3 weeks until my wedding, and you're telling me now?"
Yeah, Olivia's a piece of shit.
I hope this whole thing is fake. Like a
It sounds like it could be.
Pretty
easily fake, but
the radio boys having fun.
Yeah.
But if it's real, yeah, that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, you have to go to the wedding. You have to sell your tickets. You have to go to the wedding.
Yep. Or you can lose a friend. Those are your choices.
I promise you, this is coming from a Taylor Swift... Well, I was going to say this is coming from a Taylor Swift podcast, that a concert is not worth losing a friend over. However...
Uh-oh.
I've had some friends in the past who, looking back on it, 100% would have picked the concert.
Yeah, I don't really blame you, man. I don't really blame you. It's true. But if you're good enough friends to be a bridesmaid, you probably would prefer not to lose them. I would think. But I don't know.
You would think.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. That Kimberly, I still don't know that she understands. You can just not have lousy friends as in your wedding party. You could just not do that, you know? That'd be fine. Then you wouldn't have to worry about it, you know?
Yeah.
Just screen for quality.
Yeah.
Moving on to the big news, the unfortunate news. Explicit AI images of Taylor Swift hit X this week and attracted a whole lot of attention. A lot of retweeting, a lot of sharing, a lot of commenting. Swifties rode to Taylor's defense, as per usual, reporting people who shared the images and spamming the phrase Taylor Swift AI to make searching for the images nearly impossible. And according to a source close to Taylor, she is outraged and considering pursuing legal action.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, for sure. This whole thing, but I don't know. The legal action part of it.
AI porn is bad.
I mean, it's creepy more than anything. It's bad, but it's at the base of it, it's creepy. Why? Why do we need this? Why do you feel as though you need this?
Well, it is creepy. It is creepy, but I also think it's immoral and bad, and I think it should be illegal.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be fine with that.
Yep.
I would sign that bill.
Yep. Because it's not just famous people, man. It's not just famous people. That's how it begins. But you could use it to make AI porn of anyone. Mm-hmm. And you could spread that around your high school.
Yeah, people...
And it's getting more and more realistic every time.
Unfortunately, people definitely already use it on children, which is disgusting.
Yep.
Which is kind of where I've heard of this first being an issue. But now it's Taylor Swift. Did she ever... I don't think she did. She didn't ever pursue any legal action against Kanye for the famous music video thing, did she?
No, I don't believe so.
Yeah. That's the only thing that makes me think that she probably won't follow through with the legal action side of it. Is that, I mean, he created a full-on wax figure of her naked body.
Right.
And she didn't do anything about it. So I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. It's just gross. Don't do it.
That's right. That's right. We will see what happens. You have any other news?
I don't think so.
Okay. On to Chart Watch. On the Billboard Artist 100, Taylor stayed at number 1. On the Hot 100 Singles Chart, Cruel Summer is down 1 to number 3. Is It Over Now is down 4 to number 17. And those are the only 2 songs left on the chart.
Wow.
Getting sad and lonely. Billboard Top 200 Albums Chart, 1989 Taylor's version down 2 to number 5. Folklore is up 2 to number 8. Lover is down 2 to number 10. Midnights is down 4 to number 11. Reputation down 3 to number 22. Speak Now TV down 4 to number 25. Evermore down 4 to number 26. Red TV down 4 to number 28. Fearless TV down 13 to number 57. And 1989 Stolen version down 6 spots to number 63.
Everything but Folklore down.
Yep. And it and Lover just swapped, so no net gain there.
Yeah.
They cancel each other out. At least 1989 Stolen is headed in the right direction again.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's true.
At this point, we would consider going to the clown corner if Kimberly had written one, but she hasn't. So, the circus is closed, you know?
Sorry. Come back next week.
And?
I should genuinely have one. Like, I say I should. I do have one for next week, so looking forward to that.
That's right. It's coming. It's coming. But not right now. Right now, we are going to move on to our song of the week. Red was originally released on the album of the same name in 2012. And it was the 5th single out of 7 released as a single on June 24th, 2013. It was written by Taylor Swift. The original version was produced by Taylor Swift, Dan Huff, and Nathan Chapman. We've not met Mr. Huff yet, but he co-produced 3 tracks on Red. The other 2 are Starlight and Begin Again. He is a guitarist, songwriter, producer. Other artists he's worked with include Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Faith Hill, Rascal Flatts, and Lone Star. A diverse bunch. The Taylor's version was produced by Taylor Swift and Christopher Rowe. Dan didn't come back. You hate to see it. On the charts, the original version peaked at number 6 on the Hot 100, whereas the Taylor version peaked at number 25. Certifications: Red is certified double platinum in the United States, gold in Australia, and silver in the United Kingdom. What has Taylor said about this song?
She said, this relationship that I had that was like the worst thing ever and the best thing ever at the same time. I was writing this song and I was thinking about correlating the colors to the different feelings I went through. You have the great part of red, like the red emotions that are daring and bold and passion and love and affection. And then you have the other side of the spectrum, jealousy and anger and frustration, and you didn't call me back and I need space.
Indeed. On to the critical reception. Rolling Stone called it an earworm with lyrics that are simple but effective.
Taste of Country said Red is arguably the best lyric on the album. It's a songwriting spotlight for Swift, who toys with colors like a skilled artist, and this song is her Sistine Chapel. Okay.
Ben called it a glossy, soft rocker with a stomping, four-on-the-floor beat, back porch twang, adult contemporary orchestration, and top 40 ready electronic vocal effects. Covered a lot of ground there, Spin.
Yeah. Entertainment Weekly said lyrically this song doesn't quite gel for me. It lacks the crisp, powerful punch that Swift usually delivers. And in a song all about the vividness of feelings, they paint a rather blurry portrait. Underwhelming.
Slant said it underwhelms with its train of similes and metaphors that range from pedestrian to overworked to indefensible.
Billboard said the song hinges on the electronic that punctuates the chorus. For some, it's a deal breaker, but others may find it a bold detail.
American Songwriter called it sensory synesthesia style poetry.
Rolling Stone said the simile monsoon title track where banjos and vocoders
Yep.
make out like third cousins. Gross.
Anybody who remembers a little band called Hello Goodbye, their early stuff was all run through vocoders, so they give that electronic
Oh,
and
okay.
for that thing.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that tracks.
Ben called it perhaps the album's best pop song. So,
okay,
a lot of different opinions.
for sure.
What about the fans? Do they enjoy it?
Rob Sheffield
Big boy Rob!
ranked it number 34 out of 243.
Pretty high.
That is hella high. Rob said, the mission statement for Red, this century's most ridiculously masterful mega pop manifesto. Euro disco plus banjos. The glitter cowgirl totality Shania Twain spent years trying to perfect, with a color-tripping lyric worthy of Prince himself. Faster than the wind, passionate as sin, plus her all-time gnarliest pileup of Swiftian metaphors. Jesus, he used so many words.
Yep. He did the thing he does where he invoked other artists. Shania Twain, Prince. Those both make more sense to me than Paul Westerberg of The Replacements.
Yeah.
Which I don't remember what song it was that he compared it to, but it doesn't matter because no.
There was another one a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, he does it all the time. I don't
wild.
remember them all.
Yeah.
r/Taylor Swift ranked it the 4th best of the 29 tracks in their Red Taylor's version Survivor game.
Man, everybody seems to be on... I say everybody. The fan reception seems to be on the side of friend of the pod, Mary, when it comes to this song.
It does. It seems to be a fan favorite.
Yeah.
Do we agree? We'll find out. But first, let's get into the lyrics.
Do they know things? What do they know?
Welcome to You Heard with Purd. Verse number 1. Loving him is like driving a new Maserati down a dead-end street, faster than the wind, passionate as sin, ending so suddenly. Loving him is like trying to change your mind once you're already flying through the free fall, like the colors in autumn, so bright just before they lose it all. So, the opening simile Really shows how Taylor is big time and not the girl in her room with her t-shirt and sneakers anymore, you know? She's a celebrity, right? It reminds me a bit of a 30 Rock joke where Tracy realizes he no longer knows how to write stand-up that's relatable to the common man because he does a bit about how you accidentally open the moon roof when you're on the bed that's shaped like your face or whatever, and then it starts raining in your bedroom. Taylor also knows that the ending to this relationship will be bad, this love, but she's willing to take the ride because she's in love and she's horny. Whomst among us? You know, we've all been there.
I feel like that is the synopsis of the entire Red album. The ending's gonna be bad, but I'm willing to take the ride because I'm in love and horny. But mostly horny.
That dick, though. But, as the next simile shows, she does end up regretting it. But by then, it's too late. She's already jumped off the bridge. She can't fly back up. She's falling. Suicide survivors, this is a grim thing.
Yeah, trigger warning.
Yeah, trigger warning. Suicide attempt survivors say that they feel that feeling as soon as they jump. Guys who've jumped off bridges and lived, they have that immediate reaction, almost unanimously. It's, damn, I wish I could go back up there, but they can't. So,
yeah,
you know, I think that's encouraging. Hang in there. It gets better. Your brain is lying to you.
That is the moral. However, it is horrifying to know that they jumped and then immediately regretted it.
Yep, it is a little upsetting. Another thing that's upsetting, the colors in autumn. Perhaps my favorite simile in this simile-filled monstrosity of a song. It's true. You know, the leaves change colors in autumn, and it's beautiful, but the reason they're changing is because they're dying. There is beauty in endings, but also tremendous sadness as well. Something to think about.
Yep.
On to the chorus. Losing him was blue like I've never known. Missing him was dark gray all alone. Getting him was like trying to know somebody you never met. But loving him was red.
Red, red.
But loving him was red.
Red, red.
Blue is sad, right? We decided this as a species long ago. I don't know why. I kind of wish she tried to use a different color as sadness, just to see if she could. You know?
In her statement, the things that she described as red, I agree, are red. But then she said, then you have like the alternative side of the coin. That's not exactly what she said, but that's what she meant. The other end of it, which I was assuming she meant was blue, but then all of the, okay, and as I say this out loud, maybe she meant the other side of red were all these feelings. Because I was going to say the other one she listed, I also associate with red and not with blue. But I thought that's what she meant in the moment. Anyway, I'll shut up now.
Is dark gray all alone? Do the other colors not like dark gray? Does he smell? We may never know. Loving him was red. Like Taylor said, red is passion, red is fire, red burns bright, and ultimately fades away. Very fitting, then, as a metaphor. Verse number 2. Touching him was like realizing all you ever wanted was right there in front of you. Memorizing him was as easy as knowing all the words to your old favorite song. Fighting with him was like trying to solve a crossword and realizing there's no right answer. Regretting him was like wishing you never found out that love could be that strong. So, you belong with me to herself. Like, damn, we could have been boning this whole time, you know? He was always there. They could have been humping. But they weren't humping for a long time. And that's upsetting. Her old favorite song. Not her favorite song anymore. Nostalgia, am I right?
Not her favorite song anymore, but she can't forget the lyrics.
She can't forget them. No, they're imprinted in her mind. It's true.
Yeah. Might not be my favorite song now, but I sure know it forwards and backwards.
I don't know that Taylor has done a crossword before. Because that would be a very lousy crossword if
there's no right
answer. Yep. Yeah. But it is true, though.
You'd never be able to finish it.
It is true, as a metaphor, that fighting with a partner can absolutely feel that way. It's a puzzle you have to solve, but then ultimately you realize it's unsolvable because people are not puzzles, right? People are so much more complicated and also so much simpler at the same time somehow. Love is hard, you know? Love is hard. And also, the Taylor from The Way I Loved You has been fucking around for years, and finally, it's time to find out. She liked the fucking around, not so much the finding out. Isn't it always the way? You know? She wanted the love that's strong and wild, like a roller coaster, and then, she barfed up her churro, and now she regrets it.
Yep.
Onto the bridge. Remembering him comes in flashbacks and echoes. Tell myself it's time now, gotta let go. But moving on from him is impossible when I still see it all in my head in burning red. Burning, it was red. It's true, right? You can go a long time without thinking of an ex. But then something happens and it triggers a little memory. You see something, you hear something, you smell something. Weird little things will do it. But, we don't get to decide when we move on. It's not that simple. I'm afraid it would be nice if it was. But it happens when it happens. Time heals all wounds, they say. And that's true. And it doesn't always heal as quick as we'd like. But such is the way of the world. For her, she's not ready to move on. The feelings are still too fresh and too raw. So as much as she might like it, she's going to be stuck with it for a little bit.
Yep.
All right. Guess that's it for lyrics. So let's move on to our overall thoughts. Kimberly, would you like to go first?
I can. This is a fun song. You can't beat a good pop song. Blasting in the car, screaming the lyrics, fist bumping, whatever you like to do to fun pop songs. This album came out when I was driving an 87 Maxima. Old as hell car, but it had a sunroof.
Yep, the sex wagon.
And the air conditioning didn't work, so I always had to ride around with the windows down. So that is what I associate with this song. Just windows down, screaming the lyrics. I am a general fan of similes.
I think that's fair to say. One of the things everyone knows about you.
And boy, is this song full of them. So I'm a general fan of the song. As always, my favorite part is the bridge. And that guitar solo immediately following is fire.
Fire is red.
There you go. Much like 22, sometimes a song can just be fun. Even though the song touches on deeper topics than 22 does, I just think this is a fun song.
Yeah. Red is my favorite color. So I like hearing a song about it. I like pop music. So the fact that this is a pop song does not bother me. The electronic red feels a little bit dated now in 2024, but I didn't mind it at the time. It's overall a solid pop song, enjoyable to listen to. Like you say, it does touch on some deeper themes than 22 for sure, but it doesn't really delve into them in any depth. It kind of just grazes the surface, but that's fine, That's fine.
Keeping it kind of lighthearted.
Yep, hinting at hidden depths that are addressed in other songs on the record, so I think that's fine.
The red feeling very dated. It was of the time, man. This song screams 2012.
It sure does. The Mayans claimed the world would end. Instead, we got this.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh, it takes me back to a time that feels so far away. But it's really not that far away in the grand scheme of things.
No.
12 years is not that long, but it feels like it was a lifetime ago.
I was in college.
I was in high school.
Ew. Yeah, so those were our thoughts. Let's move on to ratings. For everyone out there who may not know, we rate every song on a 1 to 10 scale. 1 is very bad, 10 is very good, and 5 is very mid. Kimberly, how do you rate Red?
I give it a 6.
Okay.
It's a 6. It is a fun song, but I don't think it is game-changing in any way, shape, or form. I like it better than 22. Like I said, they're both just fun songs, though. And, yeah, you heard me right. I rank Exile and Red at the same level.
The less said about that, the better. I'm going to give it a 7. I think that's one thing we've discovered throughout this podcast is that I have a little bit more love for just generic pop songs,
Yeah.
I can tolerate them a little better. So for me, it's a 7. Certainly not higher than that, but I think it does what it wants to do, which is bang. And it's fun to listen to it in the car, like you say. Crank it, sing along, have a good time.
Yeah. I'm not really going to be like, oh, yeah, I got to listen to Red right now. But if I'm listening to the whole album and it comes on, I'm probably not going to skip it.
Nope, me neither. If you would like to tell us how you rate this song, you can do it right here in Spotify. if you're listening on Spotify. Look down in the episode description and you will see a poll. If you listen to us elsewhere, you can vote on our social media. We are on X, and we are on Instagram, and we are on Threads, and we are on TikTok, and we are on YouTube at
CBLU_podcast.
That's right. Listen to our podcast, and then follow us on those things, and vote. It could be cool.
Yep, the Pod Gremlin's been posting on TikTok.
Yep.
Some tip tops.
TikTok. To quote Mr. Blake Shelton, it'd sure be cool if you did. Follow us on social media.
Sure be cool if you did. That's my Blake Shelton impersonation.
What?
Nothing. Never mind.
Is that not a Blake Shelton song?
I think it is.
Okay.
I just said that's my Blake Shelton impersonation.
Oh, okay. I misheard you. Okay.
I don't actually. It probably is. I don't know. It's a country song.
I'm usually right.
They're both the same.
I'm just going to go ahead and assume I am.
Okay.
And if I'm not, I'll just never admit it.
Okay.
What song are we doing next week?
Another classic from Red. We Are Never Getting Back Together.
That's right. We're staying in Red, and we're staying in the singles, and we're staying in the generic pop songs.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, we'll look forward to next week. If you listen this far into the episode, because this will be a little shorter episode. Next week will be the episode before the Super Bowl. So we're going to talk about a little Taylor Travis conspiracy theories. Ooh. But the alternative would have been to talk about one Mr. Jake Gyllenhaal himself, the subject of next week's song. However, I am saving that clown corner Swiftery lesson for All Too Well. Because I feel like that's where it belongs. That's the song it belongs with.
I think that's fair. Our All Too Well episode is going to be long as hell because we're going to have 10 minutes of lyrics to break down.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun.
It's going to be a doozy. It might even have to be a two-parter. We'll see.
We'll see.
But yeah, I feel like that's where their story belongs, is with All Too Well.
But we won't be there for a while. For now, we're going next week to We Are Never Getting Back Together.
Yep.
Join us for that, won't you? Until then, thank you so much for listening. Follow us on the social media, vote in the polls, and we will see you next week. Goodbye.
Justin, for sure, we'll see you next week. Hopefully, I won't, because that would mean we have a baby. But yep. We'll see. Goodbye.
Bye.
Pod Gremlin may be here. Thanks for listening to Cowboys Like Us. Follow us on all platforms at CBLU_podcast. You can find us on Instagram, X, the zombie Twitter, TikTok, and Threads. We're now posting our episodes on YouTube. Head over there and like and subscribe. All of these links can be found in our link tree in the episode description. Thanks for supporting the pod. Y'all come back now, you hear?